So the Weird Iris litter are now 3 weeks old, and I just thought I'd do a little video to show you the litter, to show you them sort of properly. They're walking quite well now, though a little bit wobbly every now and then, especially when doing a manoeuvre, but in general they're getting quite strong. So at 3 weeks old, I'm now starting to think about weaning them. So I'll add in, what I think I'll do is, today they'll have their first meal, so I'll add that in to this video as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you each puppy individually so that you can see them all. So Mr. Green, I'll go through the boys first. So this is Mr. Green, so you can see his collar there. He's a lovely big fella. He's got a fairly light coat. He's big, like I said, and by his feet he's quite big as well. He's got a loveliest little face. Does he have any white on him? Just check. He's got tiny bit of white on his chest, but I would imagine that as his coat grows, that will fade. So there you go. There's Mr. Green. Mr. Blue. Oh yeah, Mr. Blue. So you see his collar, Mr. Blue, and that's what he looks like. He's also another big pup, who's actually going to be another big dog, I would say. He's a lovely fella. What else? Has he got any white on him? Any white babs? Nope, no white on him whatsoever. He doesn't have any white toes, and he doesn't have a white blaze on him either. But he's a lovely, another chunky pup. You can see, another nice chunky pup. Last but not least of the boys is he's Mr. Red now, but he was Mr. Black. He's another lovely puppy who likes his sleep, don't you, matey? Yeah, you can see. Has he got any white on him? No white toes. Hello, lovely. And no white on his chest either. So he's another one without any white on him whatsoever. There he is. Mr. Red, formerly Mr. Black. So the girls, Miss Orange, she started off as Miss Purple. Nice big pup, very cute little face, lovely looking pup, as you can see. Slightly, in picking her up, she's slightly lighter than the boys, but that's to be expected because she's a dainty little bitch, but she's not that dainty because she's got a nice big head. Neither she got any white on her either at all. She's got a nice coat coming. So there you go, little Miss Orange. I'll do this little lady for this next. This is Miss White. She doesn't have a collar on her. She's the smallest bitch. She's she's one hell of a character. The characters are just starting to come out now. She has little white toes, and she's got a lovely, I don't know if you can see it, lovely chest blaze there. Okay, hell of a character. And there's her little face. There you go, pup. That's little Miss White. What are we going to do next? we've done orange, white, Miss Pink. She was Miss Pink formerly. She's still pink, but she's got kind of a mottled kind of pink. There's your little face. Are you beautiful? Eh? Gorgeous girl. No white toes. And no chest blaze. There she is. Lovely pup. Miss Pink. Now then, last but not least is Miss Magenta, although it's a mottled, slightly darker colour pink. So there's her lovely little face. Okay. She doesn't have any white on her at all. So they're lovely chunky pups. The smallest one, Miss White, but I've got no worries about her. She's rearing along now, and when I wean, I will feed her separately, just to make sure she doesn't get pushed out of food. So she'll probably get a bit mollycoddled and spoiled. And there we are, little Miss Magenta. So that's it, that's them all. And by the way, if you heard anything in the background, that's actually Petra trying to get through here because she thinks it's her right now. But she hasn't got puppies anymore, bless her. So I think weaning time is probably about right. Their teeth are just starting to come through, so it'll be a very soft food. And Darren's also telling me that it's time I started weaning them as well. Mum knows best. She's spending a little more time further away, but Darren being Darren, she's an incredible mother. She's an amazing mother actually, and she would actually still be bottle feeding them probably almost until, not bottle feeding, suckling them until they were adults, because she just lives to be a mother. She loves being a mother. But even she's at the moment telling me, and I can tell from the state of her little boobies, that it's time to start weaning them now. So I will come back and I'll do a video, and it'll be their first meal. Right, so we're back where the pupsters. As you can see, they're walking around quite well. I've made their food, so I'm just going to put it down and we'll see what happens. So this is the first time they've seen or smelt food other than their mother's milk. They're all peeing here, but never mind, I can change the... Come on boys, you can change the vet bed. Hi sweeties. So Mr. Red, his nose is obviously going already. Oh, Miss Pink's in there. As is Miss White. No worries about her not feeding. Yeah, Mr. Blue. Mr. Red. Got his nose in. And Miss Orange is struggling there a bit. Let me move Mr. Magenta. Hey, Bob. So Mr. Green getting ahead of himself. So little Miss White is stealing everybody's food, so there's no worries that she's not going to feed. Yeah, Mr. Blue. Yeah, sweetheart. There you go. Miss Orange, she's been pushed out. Not particularly bothered if they don't all get a bellyful, because this is their first meal. I'm making the right mess. But as you can see, they're ready. 3 weeks old. They're obviously ready for their food. So Miss Orange hasn't quite got the idea. So let's give her a hand. There you go. There you go, sweetheart. Mr. Green. So if they don't eat it all, I'm not particularly bothered. So what I'm feeding them is, I used to, or I have done in the past, fed them, it's like quite literally porridge, but I didn't actually find that they particularly liked it. So basically it's kibble. Last night I pre-soaked the kibble. Well, first of all I sprinkled puppy milk and distributed it all over the kibble, and then I pre-soaked it with boiling water and left it overnight until now. It's now 12 o'clock, lunchtime, and I've just mashed it up as best as I can with a spoon, with the back of the spoon, and added more boiling water to it, so it just heats it through, and it kind of gets the milk moving again as well, so it brings the flavour of milk out, which is obviously what they've been used to. And I found that this is a much better method of starting them off than with porridges. I mean, you can buy specific porridge for weaning, but I've never had much success with it, I'll be honest. I find that it's way too sticky, and they kind of start pouring at their mouths. But this way they just get in there and they eat away. But I can see, as you can see, it's a free-for-all at the moment, which I'm not particularly bothered about. And the little one, which is my main concern because she is so small, is holding her own in there. I needn't have worried to put tall, and I really don't need to feed her separately. So they've all had a good idea of what's going on and what needs to be done, and as you can see, they were straight in it, so it's definitely the right decision. They're definitely ready at 3 weeks for the beginning of weaning. Obviously, Darren, their mother, will obviously be coming in and feeding them as well. Today they'll just have this one meal because you can overload their stomachs, and whatever you put in this end comes straight back out the other end. So it's a very slow, gentle process with weaning. But I hope to, by the end of, by the time they're 4 weeks old, that they're up to certainly 3 meals a day, if not 4 meals a day, with their mother probably just going in with them at night, because she would probably feed them, like I said, until they're adult. She loves her puppies, but they're ready to be weaned. That's about it, really. I didn't think they'd polish the dish off, but in all fairness to them, I don't think there's going to be an awful lot left. If you take the pups out of the dish, there's not really much in there. Might not have been the tidiest of affairs, but it's funny because they've never ever, and I always find it amazing with puppies, is that they've only ever been used to their mother's milk, yet as soon as I put something different, they know instantly that it's food to be eaten, and they're straight in there. They're amazing things, and their development's amazing as well. Hello, Miss Magenta. Hello, lovely. Hello. And the ones that were sort of a bit slow on the uptake at the beginning are now definitely got their nose in the trough. They'll probably have a good long sleep after this, possibly a romp around and then a good long sleep, and then no doubt I'll have plenty of cleaning up to do. And they tend to get a bit, when you're weaning, they tend to get a bit slightly runny tummies for obvious reasons, because it's completely different diet. The kibble that I've put them on is CSJ Little Champ, and it's my adult dogs are on CSJ Super Duper. I know, funny name, but it's called Super Duper. It's quite a high protein diet, but because it's the same manufacturer and it's the Champ range, their Champ range, then it's got the same sort of basic ingredients in it. It's got the same. I think Little Miss White may have eaten a little bit too much here. She's not been sick, but you sometimes get that right at the beginning, but not very often. Not with Slovaks. They're not sick very often, so yeah. So the kibble is the same base kibble as their mother Darren is fed on. So they say it's a good idea to do that because within the milk, because the milk's been produced from a mother that's fed on the same base kibble, then the idea is that they're used to the food already, if that makes sense. I don't know whether it's true because I'm not a nutritionist, but I don't have any problems with weaning them onto it, so maybe it is true. And in that short space of time, the dish is empty, just about empty. There's a few scraps left, but not an awful lot, and they've all seem to, even though they've got their feet and everything in there, which is the norm, they've all had a pretty good feed. So yeah, so all in all, quite successful for the wave cloth. Oh, another thing, a few people have been asking me what's a Airless. So Weircloth is my kennel name, as you all know, and then a Airless is Snowdrop, because the snowdrops are out this time of year. So they're the snowdrop litter, and the previous litter that went last weekend were the Kellin litter, and that's Holly, because they were born around about Christmas time. So yeah, so these are snowdrop. See, these are the snowdrop litter. So that's Weircloth the Airless litter, just in case anybody was wondering, and I know a few people have asked me. Okay, so that's about it. I think safe to say. I'll lift this bowl. Hey boys. Just about an empty bowl. So I think that was a pretty good first attempt at weaning, and now they'll have a little romp around and no doubt will sleep for a good few hours, because that's what they do at the moment.